What can you tell me about the use of should and ought to?
Should and ought to are both modal verbs that express obligation or recommendation, but there are some subtle differences in their usage. Should is used to express a recommendation or an obligation. For example, you should eat more vegetables. Or, he should call his parents more often. Should can also be used to express a suggestion or advice, as in, you should try this restaurant, the food is amazing. Ought to is also used to express obligation or recommendation, but it often implies a moral obligation or a duty. For example, you ought to apologize for what you said. Or, we ought to help those in need. Ought to is often used to express what is the right thing to do in a particular situation. In practice, should and ought to can often be used interchangeably, but ought to may be more commonly used in formal or academic settings. Additionally, should is often used in more general or everyday situations, while ought to is often used for more specific or serious situations.
Gives me 3 examples for each case with affirmative, interrogative, negative form.
Sure. Here are 3 examples for each verb in the affirmative, interrogative, and negative forms. Should, affirmative. She should go to bed early tonight. They should try the new restaurant in town. You should study for the exam. Interrogative. Should we leave now? Should I call him back? Should they invest in that company? Negative. He should not eat too much junk food. You should not be rude to others. We should not procrastinate too much. Ought to, affirmative. He ought to apologize for what he said. We ought to attend the meeting tomorrow. You ought to finish your work on time. Interrogative. Ought I to leave now? Ought we to help him with his project? Ought they to consult with their lawyer? Negative. She ought not to lie to her parents. You ought not to miss your appointment. They ought not to waste their time on social media.